Hello lovelies, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy the next video. I hope you see something that you like, that you learn something that you want to try, or that you have questions that you would want to do the research and see if it's something you want to do. Alrighty, enjoy the video. Hello lovelies, I'm about to do a sign for my porch and I thought I would take you along for the ride. It's probably about 50 inches long, 8 inches wide, and I'm using my Cricut Explore Air 2, so I have to cut it in two parts because the biggest length that you can cut something on the Cricut is 23 and a half on a 24-inch mat. So I have to cut it in two parts and place it on the board. Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part, to align it up. So it's kind of hard for you to see the screen, what the design is in totality, because it's just that big on my screen, so it won't show the whole thing. So I'm going to go over and show you the piece of board that I bought from Lowe's. Let me see if I can get that. This is the piece of whiteboard, exterior board that I bought from Lowe's. And this was 10 feet in height. So I told my husband to have it cut in half. Why is it that one of my boards is 4 feet and the other one is 6 feet? But anywho, I like the fact that I cut it in half so I can place a design on both the front and the back, and I can make myself 4 signs for the porch, so I can change my sign with the season. So anywho, let me get the Cricut set up. This is my mat, and I have the permanent vinyl on there. So I'm getting ready to put it in the machine and let the machine cut it, and then I will place it on the board. I'm going to click on the Make It sign, and it's going to start the process of setting it up to cut. So it's asking me if I have my material set on the 24-inch mat, so I'll click on OK, and I'll scroll down to look to see how everything is set up. Okay, that looks good. But I'm going to move this design over a little bit because, as you see, it's on the edge, and I just want to make sure that Cricut doesn't miss the cut over here since it's so close to the edge. Okay, I moved it over to the right a little. I really don't have much room to work with top and bottom because it's basically taking the whole footprint. It's taking the mat. So I'm going to click on Continue. And it's hard to see. There's a glare in here. So I have it set on Vinyl Plus, and I'm going to click on my Edit tool, and I'm going to select Deep Point Blade. And then I'm apply those settings. It just gives it an extra pressure so it can cut precisely. Okay, now we're going to go over to the machine, and the button is clicking for me to get started. And what it's going to do is going to feed the material in the machine, and then the next button I'll press for it to start cutting. And since this is somewhat of a simple cut, it shouldn't take no more than 5 minutes, even though it's a big cut. So I will bring you back when it's finished and we can start the weeding process. Okay, it's finished cutting, but before I take it off the mat, I want to test it to make sure that it will weed properly. Okay, it's coming up. So I'm going to take it off the mat, bring it over to my table, cut off the excess, and start the weeding. Okay, I'm going to cut off all right, and I can cut the other piece with this, but I'm going to put that to the side for right now. Alrighty, and what I like to do is turn my mat over and pull the mat off the material as opposed to the material off the mat, because when you pull the material off the mat, it has a tendency to curl. Okay, put my mat to the side. Make sure you are still in view. And you know, it cuts so good that sometimes it's hard to see the weed lines. So what I like to do is to start right here in the corner where I know nothing is at, and pull a piece up. If I can get it to come up. Okay, there we go. And just what I'm doing is weeding off the part that I don't want. And what I don't like about permanent vinyl that is sticky, I mean, that's a good thing, that's the purpose, but sometimes if you're not careful, it'll fall back down on your design and you can just hang it up. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes as I go along, I would just cut it instead of holding on to it so that I won't run into that problem of it falling back down on my design. But so far so good. This is weeding like butter. And that's what you want. You don't want to be struggling when you're weeding. See, like that's a big part right there, so I'm just going to cut it so it won't fall back on me. My memory card was full, so I had to change my memory card. So let's continue the weeding process. I'm recording. Okay, I am almost finished. Just have a few more pieces to weed out on the house. Well, this is the first, well, this is the second half. This is the bottom part of the sign. Now I gotta go back and cut the top part of the sign. So that is it for the second part. Now I'm gonna load up the mat again with the vinyl and go back in and cut the other part. So the sign is so big that it won't fit in the camera frame, but I'll do like that. And that's how that is. Okay, so let me set up my mat and get that all set up so we can cut the second part, which is really the first part, the part that go on top, because this part goes at the bottom of the sign. Okay, we got the top half on the cutter. This should take about 5 minutes, and we'll get to weeding this one. All right, let's weed the second part, which goes on the top. So actually, it's the first part. Look like it didn't cut out one of my words. So I got to go back in and cut it because it is not here. That is weird. I don't know what happened. Let me cut some of this stuff before I get in trouble. Let me cut some of this extra vinyl before I get in trouble and it starts sticking to. It's supposed to be placed right here, and I'm looking back on the vinyl and it is not there, so I'm gonna have to go back and cut that out and strategically put it in place. I don't know what happened there at all. Okay, it's at the bottom. For some reason, I thought it was up top. Phew! I thought it was up top. All right. It did what it was supposed to do. I just thought it was up top. I thought it went here, but the word is down there. So everything is good. So let me go in and get the innards outside of the words. And the inside of the house. I really like this vinyl. Oh my goodness, this stuff weeds like butter. Oh my goodness. I've used their, this is Tech Rat. I've used their heat transfer vinyl, which also weeds really good, but I've never used their permanent vinyl. Oh, I got to get me some more. Alrighty, open the door. Come on in. I'm almost finished. Now all I gotta do is position it on the board. So I have 2 parts to lay. Okay, I'm gonna trim this extra piece right here so I won't have all that extra space to deal with, and I won't have to waste any transfer tape. Cut off the extra part of this. Okay. So and get my board. So this is my board. Let me wipe it off. With some alcohol. Make sure it's clean. It will make for a better adhesion. And the reason why I bought this type of board as opposed to getting a piece of plywood or whatever is because I didn't want to have to deal with painting, and I didn't want to have to deal with putting something on it, you know, to weatherproof it. This is already paint. It's already white, which was the color I wanted, and it's already weatherproof because this is exterior. It's a piece of exterior plywood or whatever it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is position I'm going to dry fit it first to see what space I'm working with, top and bottom. Make sure it's even, top and bottom. I probably need to put my camera up on the table so that you can see it in its totality, because since it's so big, it's hard to see. Or maybe I'll back the camera up. Let's see. There we go. Back the camera up. Adjust it. Okay. Okay. That works. At least you can see most of it. Okay, I got my transfer tape. Let's see here. That's not long enough that way. And the good thing about it is I can use this piece on the bottom half. So once I get the first part tacked down, after I get this first piece tacked down and applied to the board, I can use the transfer tape for the bottom half. Okay, let me make sure I didn't push anything out the way. Let me get my ruler and make sure that it's equally spaced top to bottom. Okay, that looks okay. I really need to get me a new bigger memory card because my memory card ran out of space, so I had to go to my computer and remove the videos that I already recorded so that I can finish this one. Okay.
Switch to sandwiches.
Okay, I'm trying to smooth it out and get out these bubbles. Okay, I got my varnishing tool. I'm just rubbing on it so that the vinyl can stick to the transfer tape. Turn it over backwards and try to get it that way.
Now, the one thing I like about this low tack transfer tape is that it doesn't mess up, like if you have a painted surface or what have you. It's not too sticky that when you pull it off, it'll pull the paint with it. But what I don't like about it is that since it's a low tack transfer tape, sometimes it's hard to get the vinyl to stick to it. Especially the words, because they're smaller. But if you have a bigger design, like that house, as you see, it's somewhat coming up easier. I'm going to turn it over this way. Let's see if that'll help me. Stick. Alrighty, it's coming along. We're almost there. Alrighty. So, what I'm going to do is get me a piece of parchment paper to lay it down on my board. Because the HTV won't tack down to it. So this will help me get my placement together before I commit. I want to make sure it's evenly placed, top to bottom, left to right. Turn this over this way because it was curling up on me. Okay. Okay, I want to make sure that it's even on both sides. It looks to be. Yep. Okay, that's good as far as left to right. Now I need to bring it up some. Okay. And what I did was up here, I applied the transfer tape higher than the design so that I can tack that down to the board. Okay. Tack that down to the board so that that stays in place. I'm going to add a piece of tape on top so it won't move. And then I'm going to lift up my design. Gently remove the parchment paper and slowly go down and lay my design down, trying to prevent any bubbles. It's okay if the transfer tape have bubbles in it, but I don't want my vinyl to have bubbles in it. And then when I think it's in place, I'll just take my varnishing tool and rub it so the vinyl can stick. And then, like I said, I can use this same piece of transfer tape on the bottom portion, and I can use that same piece of parchment paper as well. And they say you should let your design sit on whatever you place it on for like 48 hours before it becomes, with the camera, permanent. All right, let's see if everything has stuck. I'm gonna slowly pull it back, because sometimes you have stubborn material that don't want to adhere, but so far so good. I'm loving the way this look. I know it's probably hard for you to see from that angle. Okay. So now I'm going to put the transfer tape on the second half. Okay. I want it to overlap so I can have a piece to stick to the board. And this piece is too short. It didn't cover all of the E, but not a problem. Because I have more tape, all I have to do is overlap the tape at the bottom and we are good. Make sure it's big enough, wide enough, long enough. Okay. It's always hard for me to get it started. Okay, there we go. Okay. So let me get my scraper and start varnishing it. So just like I did before, I will do the front side, turn it over, and do the back side. Okay. So this sign will be my main sign, and like I said, it was a tall board that was 10 feet tall, and I wanted it cut in half, but one board is longer than the other, so I can decorate the front and the back. So I think the next one that I'll do is for the warmer weather, and then we have fall, and then we have winter, and for winter I'll do a Christmas theme. Alrighty, get my piece of tape. I don't think I need a piece of tape as my placeholder because I can go with that line right there. So, but what I do need is my parchment paper so that I can make sure it's even left to right. Okay. See what we got here. Okay, I think that'll do it. I'll tack down my tape right there, my transfer tape. Everything looks good. Oh, I never pulled it off the backing. Crazy girl. So let me hold that down in place. Remove my parchment paper. And I might have to stick it down again because I didn't remove the backing. Let me see if I put this tape down here to hold it in place so it won't shift on me. See if I can remove the backing without it coming loose. And hopefully this won't be too bad to stick to the transfer tape since it's a bigger design. It's not the small letters. We almost there. Almost there. One more letter. One more letter. All right. Backing out the way. Hold it up and slowly go down. So that the vinyl doesn't bubble or curl up, that it goes down smoothly. And then when I got everything down, as I do have, I'll go back in and varnish it so that it can stick to the board. Now you're going to have bubbles in your transfer tape, but that's okay. Just as long as you don't have bubbles in your vinyl. Okay. Slowly remove the tape. That's why you slowly remove the tape. Because sometimes your vinyl wants to be stubborn. So if you would, go fast and yank it, you'd be in trouble. Because then you have to manually place it, whereas the Cricut helped you out by strategically cutting it and having it align in place. So all you have to do is place your one big piece down. One more letter. And then I'll stand the board up so you can see it in its totality. And hopefully the camera will act right, because the board is kind of like bigger than the frame of the camera. So I might have to just scroll down from top to bottom for you to see it. All right, that is that. I love it. I like it. I'm excited. I can't wait to place it on my porch. Just moving my hand over to make sure everything is lined up. Okay, let me stand the board up. And that looks so cute. Alrighty. Let's see if I bring the camera around and back up. If you can see the, there we go. There we go. There's no place like home. I love saying that saying. I said that saying so much that when I retired from work, they gave me a picture with that saying on it. And as a matter of fact, let me show it. I still have it on my desk. There's no place like home. How they say home is where the heart is. Okay, it's hard to, the way my lighting is shining, it's hard to see the letters up top. But I'm also going to take a picture, and that should be better. Okay. I'm going to have to turn my light down because it's definitely blocking. Let's see if that's better. It's coming in bleary. But anywho, if you can see that letter in red, that says there's no place like home. And that's me in the middle. I would say that all the time at work. All the time. So I really love this picture that they gave me at work. But anywho, that's not what this video is about. It's about my sign over there. There's no place like home. Alrighty, thank you for joining me in this tutorial. Bye-bye.